morning children. Today we are going to revise for our first periodic test. Okay. First we are going to revise our first chapter, real numbers. The first chapter, real numbers, the first exercise is based on Euclid's division algorithm. So what is Euclid's division algorithm? For any two integers a and b, a is equal to bq plus r, where q is some integer. Here it is a quotient and r is remainder. This relationship is dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay. So here the remainder should satisfy the condition. Remainder should be greater than or equal to 0 and the remainder will be strictly less than the quotient. Okay. This states the Euclid's division algorithm. Now we are going to revise our first exercise problem based on Euclid's division algorithm. The first exercise problem is based on Euclid's division algorithm model. If two numbers are given, how to find the HCF of the two numbers using Euclid's division algorithm. See here the first problem. Use Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of 4025 and 12576. For these two numbers, you have to find the HCF. Okay. There is other way also to find the HCF, but here particularly we are going to use the Euclid's division algorithm how to find the HCF of the given two numbers. Okay. For that first we have to assign. Okay. What is A and what is B? A is equal to BQ plus R. You have to give in that relationship. So first, take the greater number. In the given number, take the greater number as A and the smaller number as B. Which is the greater number here? 1, 2, 5, 7, 6. So let it be A and the next number be B. Okay. Then apply Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. Apply the Euclid's division algorithm. A is equal to. So A should be divided by B. Okay. To find the remainder, we should divide A by B. So what is A here? 1, 2, 5, 7, 6. Should be divided by 4052. So we are going to divide by 4052. See here, if you are dividing 12576 by 4025 means 3 times of 4025 will give you 12156. That is the maximum multiply. Okay, below 12576. So we get the remainder 420. Here it is not completely divided. We are getting some remainder. Okay, 3 times. If you multiply with that, we are getting the remainder 420. So we are going to represent. So for this, you have to use the rough column. Okay, use the rough column, divide the number and see. Okay, by assumption you can't write what is the quotient and what is the remainder. So use rough column, divide properly and get what is the quotient and what is the remainder. So see here, if it is multiplied by 3, the remainder is 420. Okay, so dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, to find the HCF of two numbers, okay, using Euclid's division algorithm, we have to do this process. Okay, we have to do this division process until the remainder comes 0. Not in the first step we are not going to identify what is the HCF. Okay, we have to repeat this process until the remainder comes 0. So what we are going to next see here, the remainder is not equal to 0. Okay, so next we are going to divide the divisor by the remainder. Okay, so what is the divisor here? 4025. We are going to divide it by 420. So 4025 is divided by 420. Again divide. Okay, using the division method. Long division we know. So 4052 divided by 420 means 9 times. Okay, 9 times of 420 will give you 3780. We are getting the remainder 272. The remainder is not equal to 0 again. Write the relationship. So 4052 is equal to 420 into 9 plus 272. The remainder is not equal to 0. So again repeat the process until the remainder comes 0. So 420 should be divided by 272. So 420 is equal to 272 into 1 time. Okay, if you multiply by 2 times, it exceeds 420. So 1 time only. So what is the remainder? 148. Again the remainder is not equal to 0. So the process repeated again. So 272 equal to 148 into 1 time. Again the remainder 124, the remainder is not equal to 0. What we have to do next? We have to divide the divisor 148 by the remainder 124. So 148 is equal to 124 into 1 plus the remainder 24. Okay, divide and see. 1 times 1 you know. So 148, 1 times of 124. So 148 minus 124 is 24. The remainder is 24. Now again we have to divide 124 by 24. So 124 is equal to 24 into 5. Okay, plus 4. because 24 into 5 will give you 120. 24 into 5 will give you 120. So 124 minus 120 is 4. Again the remainder is 4, which is not equal to 0 until the remainder is not equal to 0. So again we have to repeat the process. Is it? So we have to divide 24 by 4. 24 is equal to 4 6 are 24. Exactly divided by. Okay, 24 is exactly divided by 4. 6 times. So 6 4s are 24. So the remainder comes 0 here. So we got the remainder as 0. Stop the process here until the remainder comes 0. So if any two numbers are given and has to find the HCF using Euclid's division algorithm, divide the greater number by the smaller number by applying Euclid's division algorithm. Repeat the process of division until the remainder comes 0. Okay, here the remainder comes 0 now. So what is the divisor here? What is the divisor here? 4. 4 is the HCF of the given two numbers. 4 is the HCF of the given two numbers. So whatever the number is given to find the HCF using Euclid's division algorithm, follow the same process and you can find the HCF of the given two numbers. So the second exercise in real numbers is based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic. What is fundamental theorem of arithmetic? Any composite number can be expressed as a product of prime factors in a unique way. Okay, that is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. The exercise problem is based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic only. That is, every composite number can be expressed as a product of prime factors in a unique way. Okay, based on the problems you have the exercises, you are going to find the prime factors for the given composite number and how to find the LCM and HCF of two given numbers using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So see here the first problem, express as a product of prime factors. If a composite number is given, how to express it as a product of prime factors. Okay, so see here 3825. Okay, start with the smallest prime number. It is not able to divide by 2. So first number we are dividing by 3, isn't it? So see here 1 3 is 3, 2 3s are 6, is remaining 2. So 7 3s are 21, so remainder 1, 5 3s are 15. The next step also is possible to divide by 3, so we are dividing by 3. Okay, so 4 3s are 12, 2 3s are 6, remainder 1, so 5 3s are 15. Again, now the next prime number, again this step is not able to divide by 3, so we are choosing 5. We are dividing by 5, again we are dividing by 5. The final value we are getting it as 17. 17 is a prime number, so we can't proceed more. Okay, 17 is a prime number, stop up to this. So what are the prime factors of 3825? 3 into 3 into 5 into 5 into 17. That is 3 square into 5 square into 17. So here the given composite number can be expressed in a product of prime factors in a unique way. Okay, just divide by the prime factor. Start from the smallest prime number 2. Okay, if it is possible to divide by 2 means divide by 2. Otherwise start from 3. If 3 is not possible, go with 5. So 5 is not possible, go with 7. Likewise, you have to divide using the prime numbers. Okay, finally if you got the prime numbers, stop up to that. Okay, and write the prime factors of the given number. Okay, yes, the next problem. Find the LCM and HCF of the given two numbers. Okay, whatever the number is given, and if they are asking to find both the LCM and HCF, must use the prime factorization method to find the LCM and HCF of the given two numbers. See here, 26 is find the prime factors. It is possible to do by 2. Yes, so 13 into 2 is 26. Here 13 is a prime number, so stop up to this. So 26 is expressed as 2 into 13. 91 7 times. Okay, it is not possible to do by 2, 3, 5 tables at all. So directly we are dividing by 7. So 13 into 7 is 91. So 7 into 13 is HCF. So how to find HCF? The common factor. Okay, the common prime factor is the HCF of the given two numbers. Okay, you should take only the common prime factor. That is the HCF of the given two number. And what about the LCM? Okay, the common number, also the uncommon number you should multiply and give as LCM. Okay, the common number, also the uncommon numbers you should multiply and give as LCM. So what are the numbers? 2 into 7 into 13. For LCM we have to take 2 into 7 into 13. That is 14 into 13, 182. Okay, so for two numbers, any two numbers, if you are finding the HCF and LCM, for using prime factorization method means first factorize the number, okay, as a prime factors. Write the prime factors. What are the common prime number? Okay, in both the factorization is the HCF. Okay, and uncommon also you have to include for LCM. The uncommon numbers with common number you should multiply and give as LCM. Another concept in this exercise we have to use to solve the problems are the LCM into HCF. LCM into HCF of any two given numbers surely equal to the product of two numbers. Okay, product of two numbers. So remember this concept to solve the problem. Okay, for any two numbers, the LCM of the two number and HCF of the two number, the product of the LCM and HCF of the two numbers should be equal to the product of the given two numbers. This relationship also used to solve the problem. Student, exercise 1.3, the problems are based on irrational numbers. In real numbers we have seen about rational numbers, also irrational numbers. Rational number, what is rational number? A rational number is in the form of P by Q and Q is not equal to 0. Rational number can be expressed, that any two integers can be expressed in the form of ratio, that is called as a rational number, and it has the terminating decimals. Irrational number, what is irrational number? An irrational number cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. Okay, that is called as a irrational number. Here the problems are based on the given numbers. We have to check whether it is irrational number or not. Further, the first example, see here, prove that 5 minus root 3 is irrational. We have to show this given number is irrational. Okay, to prove it is or to show whether it is irrational or not, we are making the contrary assumption here. Okay, for all the problems we are doing taking the contrary assumption, then only we are proving that whether it is irrational or not. Okay, here one example is here. See, so let us assume to the contrary that 5 minus root 3 is rational. Okay, I am assigning the 5 minus root 3 as rational. Okay, now if any number is rational means it can be expressed in the form of P by Q or A by B, isn't it? So 5 minus root 3 is equal to A by B, equal to A by B, because we assign that it is rational. So we are taking 5 minus root 3 is equal to A by B. Yes. Now see here, A minus B and root 3 we are interchanging. So 5 minus A by B is equal to root 3. We know that root 3 is irrational number. We know that root 3. Okay, root P, the number in the form of root P is irrational. So root 3 is irrational number. So just change here, 5 minus A by B is root 3. Okay, 5 minus A by B. A and B are integers. Okay, if so we are having 5 minus A by B. Okay, A and B are integers. So surely 5 minus A by B is a rational number. If you subtract this, surely we are going to get the result as rational number. But in the previous equation what we are having, 5 minus A by B is equal to root 3. Okay, see here, by our assumption this is a rational number, but root 3 is irrational number. Root 3 is irrational number. Whether the rational number equals to irrational number? No. So why it occurs here? We got the result as we have taken that 5 minus root 3 is rational number. By solving we are getting some rational number is equal to irrational number. It is not possible. So what is the mistake here? Is what we did. We have taken that the contrary assumption 5 minus root 3 is rational number. Because our assumption is wrong. We took that 5 minus root 3 is rational number. So only we got the different result here. So we conclude that 5 minus root 3 is irrational number. Okay. So whatever the number is given here, if you are going to prove irrational, assign that as rational number. Surely you are going to equate to A by B. Okay. So if you got the contrary result here, okay, the rational number is equal to irrational number, surely our assumption is wrong. Okay, what is our assumption? It is a rational number. So it is not a rational number. If it is not a rational number, then surely it is going to be a irrational number. So 5 minus root 3 is irrational. So now we are going to revise our second chapter, polynomials. Okay, so what is polynomial? Okay, the combination of algebraic terms using the mathematical operations called as a polynomials. Okay, so see, the first exercise problem is based on the product of the polynomials only. See what is the degree of the polynomial. Okay, know what is the polynomial, what is the degree of the polynomial. The polynomial is given the highest power of the variable. The highest power of the variable. What is variable? See here x. For example, I have written a polynomial 3x square minus 4x plus x. Here x is the variable. What is the highest degree of the variable? 2. So the degree of the polynomial is 2. If you are taking any more example, if 3z square minus 4z power 5. This is also a polynomial. Okay. Here what is the variable we are using? Z. Isn't it? What is the highest power of the variable? It is 5. So the degree of the polynomial is 5. So the highest power of the given variable you have to take it as a degree of the polynomial. And coefficient. What is the coefficient? For example, if I am asking the coefficient for x. If this is your question and if you are asking the coefficient of x, what is the number? What is the integer multiplied with x is called as the coefficient of x. What is the integer? Minus 4. While taking the coefficient of the particular term, you have to take along with the sign. If for x it is minus 4. For x square it is 3. Okay. Take this example itself. The coefficient of x is minus 4 and the coefficient of x square is 3. Likewise, you have to identify the coefficient of the given term. And what is the constant? The constant is without variable. Okay, in the given polynomial, the constant is without variable. So what is the constant in the given polynomial? 6. 6 is the constant. Okay. Next we have discussed about the different types of polynomial based on its terms and degree. Okay. Based on its terms. Term is the number of terms. See here 1, 2, 3. 3 terms are there. In this polynomial 1, 2. 2 terms are there. So based on the terms, how the polynomial is classified is monomial. Monomial means the polynomial with one term. The polynomial with one term. Binomial. Binomial means the polynomial with two terms. The polynomial with two terms. Trinomial means the polynomial with three terms. Okay. And so remember monomial, polynomial with one term. Binomial, polynomial with two terms. And trinomial, polynomial with three terms. And degree of the degree, based on the degree, how the polynomial are classified is linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial and cubic polynomial. Linear polynomial means if the polynomial has degree 1, if the degree of the polynomial is 1. Okay, if the degree of the polynomial is 1, then it is linear polynomial. If the degree of the polynomial is 2, then it is quadratic polynomial. And if the degree of the polynomial is 3, then it is said to be the cubic polynomial. Okay, so these are the concepts we are going to we are used in exercise 2.1. Okay, if you revise the concept itself, it is easy to solve the first exercise problem in polynomials. Okay, now the second exercise. Okay, it is clear about what is polynomial. The second exercise is based on to find the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, what is the zero of the polynomial? If a polynomial is there, if a variable, the variable in the polynomial takes any value. Okay, the variable takes any integer value, and if the value of the polynomial comes 0, if the variable in the polynomial takes any integer value, and if the value of the polynomial comes 0, then it is said to be the zero of the polynomial. The second exercise is based on the zero of the polynomial only. In that some example problems, let us revise. Find the value of f(ix) minus 4x square plus 3 and x is equal to 2. See here they have given a polynomial and they have indicated a value for the variable x is equal to 2. Okay, we have to just find the value of this polynomial at x equal to 2. Nothing, we have to replace the variable by the given value. Okay, what is the variable here? X. What is the value for x given in the question? X is equal to 2. Just replace the variable x by 2 in the given question and find the value. Okay, so replace 5x minus 4x square plus 3. If you replace x by 2 means 5 into 2 and x square it is 2 square. So 2 2s are 4. So minus 4 into 4 plus 3. So 5 is 10. 4 4s are 16 plus 3. So finally minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3. Okay, so we got x is equal to, if x is equal to 2, the value of the given polynomial is minus 3. The question asked in the other way also. Okay, verify whether x is equal to 2 is the zero of the given polynomial. Here one example I did is the value of the polynomial. If they are asking to verify whether the indicated term is zero of the polynomial, means the same way you have to solve the problem. If the remainder comes 0, okay, if the remainder, remainder means if you substituting and final value is there? No. If you are getting the final value, the p of x equal to 0 means it is the 0 of the polynomial. The indicated term is 0 of the polynomial. Otherwise, it is not the 0 of the polynomial. The question may ask in other way also. Verify whether x is equal to 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. Just substitute and find the value. If the final value which you are getting the remainder as 0 means it is the 0 of the polynomial. Other than 0, any value means it is not the 0 of the polynomial. Okay. So the next example, find the 0 of the polynomial p of x is equal to 2x plus 5. Okay, here the term variable is not indicated here. The value for the variable is not indicated here. You are supposed to find what is the 0 of this given polynomial. So how to find the 0 of this given polynomial is take the given polynomial equal to 0. Okay, so 2x plus 5 equal to 0. Here we want to find the value of x. Okay, so see, if you want to find the value of x, take 5 to the next side of the equation. Plus 5 move that side means minus 5. So 2x is equal to minus 5. So x is equal to minus 5 by 2. 2 here under multiplication. If it goes that side, it will come under division. So x is equal to minus 5 by 2. So x is equal to minus 5 by 2 is the 0 of the given polynomial. If they are asking you to find the given polynomial is given, and if you are supposed to find yourself the 0 of the polynomial means equate the given polynomial to 0 and find the value of the variable. Okay, here x. So we are finding the value of x. That is called as the 0 of the given polynomial. Exercise 2.3. The problems are based on dividing a polynomial by another polynomial. Okay, and finding the remainder. Okay, based on the remainder theorem. See here the first question. Divide the polynomial 3x square plus x minus 1 by x plus 1 and find the remainder. So you can use the division method to find the remainder. If they are mentioned to use division method, means use division method to find. Otherwise, as per the second exercise, we substituted the value of x naught. If x plus 1 means the value of x is equal to minus 1. Plus 1, if goes to that side, it is minus 1. So x is equal to minus 1. You can substitute the variable value x is equal to minus 1 in the given equation and you can find the remainder also. But if it is mentioned to use the division method, surely you have to use the division method and you have to find the remainder of the polynomial. Okay, see here. What is the given polynomial? 3x square plus x minus 1 is divided by x plus 1. Okay, so concentrate on the first term. Here the first term is 3x square, it is x. So 3x square, here x. If we divide those two terms, here we are getting x. So the first term of the quotient. So 3x into x, 3x square. 3x into the second term plus 1 is plus 3x. First term, always we have to subtract here. So the first term will get cancelled. Here if we subtract 1x minus 3x. 1x minus 3x is minus 2x. The next number minus 1. What should be the next multiple? Minus 2. To get minus 2x, we have to multiply by minus 2 now. So minus 2 into x, minus 2x, minus 2 into 1, minus 2. The same terms, minus 2x, minus 2x will get cancelled. Here, we are subtracting now, minus into minus will become plus. So minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 plus 2. So the remainder is 1. Okay. So up to the constant you are getting, proceed the division. Okay, we got the constant 1. So it is the remainder. Okay. Purely the exercise 2.3 problems is based on remainder theorem only, dividing a polynomial by another polynomial. So this is the way how we have to divide a polynomial by another polynomial and find the remainder. Now, for exercise 2.4, okay, exercise 2.4 is based on the factorization of the polynomial. Okay, how to factorize a polynomial or how to check whether the given is a factor of the polynomial. Already in second exercise 2.2, we checked whether the given term is a factor of a polynomial or not. Factor or zero. Factor, in other words, we can say as zero of the polynomial. Okay. Here we are going to revise how to factorize a quadratic polynomial and a cubic polynomial. How we are going to factorize a quadratic polynomial and cubic polynomial. See, whatever the quadratic polynomial is given, use the method of splitting the middle term. If a quadratic polynomial is given for factorization, use the splitting by splitting the middle term method. Use that method and quadratic polynomial because of degree 2. Okay, it is a quadratic polynomial. We have to find the factor of this quadratic polynomial by splitting the middle terms. Listen. So here the quotient of x should be multiplied with the constant term. Okay, whatever the quotient of x square should be multiplied with the constant term. So 2 into 3 is 6. What is the middle term? 7. Okay, multiply along with the sign. Here it is both are in plus only, so no problem. If anything is minus, along with the sign you have to multiply, add or subtract. Okay, so 2 3s are 6 and the middle term is 7. So we have to choose two numbers that should satisfy. If you are multiplying, it should give the result 6. If you are adding or subtracting the terms, you should get the result 7. So the number here are 1 and 6. 1 into 6 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, so we are going to split the middle term using the two terms. X 2x square plus 1x plus 6x plus 3. Okay, next take the first two terms and the next two terms. What is common in the first two terms? Here x. Okay, because here 2x square, here x. Only the variable x is common, so take x common. So the remaining terms are 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. In the first section, if you took x common, the remaining is 2x plus 1. In the second section also, we have to get 2x plus 1 only. Okay. Based on that, take the common term. Okay. Then only the factorization next will go on. So 2x plus 1 is what is common for 6x plus 3? It is 2. So if you take 2 common, again we are getting the number 2x plus 1. See here, 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1 common. So take 2x plus 1 common, the remaining is x plus 2. So the factors of 2x square plus 7x plus 3 is equal to 2x plus 1 into x plus 2. So children, on exercise 2.4, whatever the quadratic polynomial given to factorize this, just use by splitting the middle term method. Okay, multiply the quotient of x square with the constant term and take the middle term. If you multiply, choose two numbers. Okay, you can use the prime factorization method also. Choose two numbers. Okay, so that it should satisfy. If you multiply, it should give the product of this. If you add this, you should get the middle term and substitute the number and split the middle terms. Okay, split the middle terms, take the common away and find the factor of the quadratic polynomial. So the same exercise, we are going to factorize the cubic polynomial. If you are asked to factorize the cubic polynomials, you can't directly factorize it. Okay, first we are going to use the triad method and we are going to identify any one of the factors. Cubic polynomial has 3 factors. Quadratic polynomial has 2 factors. Cubic polynomial has 3 factors. Based on its degree only, it has its factors. Okay. So we are going to identify any one of the factors for the cubic polynomial. If a cubic polynomial is given, use trial method first and find any one of the factor. Then using that factor, we are going to divide the polynomial and we are going to find the other 2 factors. Okay. See here. For example, x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2 is a cubic polynomial. We are going to find one of the factor using trial method. Okay, by trial method, let x is equal to 1. Not only x is equal to 1. Already, while solving the problem, we saw that. Okay, for example, we are taking x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, not satisfying the condition, means we have to go for the other thing. X equal to minus 1. Likewise, you can plus 2, minus 2, plus 3, minus 3, you can substitute the integers. If here we are taking x is equal to 1, substitute x is equal to 1 here in the p of x. So instead of x, 1 cube minus 2 into 1 square minus 1 plus 2. So 1 cube is 1, it is minus 2, minus 1 plus 2. Plus 1 minus 1, plus 2 minus 2 will get cancelled, the remainder is 0. Here we got the value as 0. So surely x is equal to 1. Okay, x is equal to 1 means when writing the factor you have to write it as x is equal to x minus 1. Okay, x is equal to 1 means you have to write it as x minus 1. X minus 1 is the one of the factor of p of x. Now if we are taking x is equal to 1, if it is not equal to 0 means leave that. Okay, if it is not equal to 0 means write it is not a factor. Then go for the other trial method, x is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to 2. Substitute that and see whether we are getting the factor or not. Here x is equal to 1 satisfies. So x minus 1 is one of the factor of p of x. Okay, now we got one factor. Okay, using this one factor we are going to divide the polynomial. Okay, by using the division method. See, x minus 1. Okay, one of the factor we are going to divide the polynomial. X cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. Already in exercise 2.3 we know how to divide a polynomial by another polynomial. Follow the same method. Okay, so x square into x cube, x square into minus 1 is minus x square. The first term is common, we get cancel. Here minus into minus will become plus. So you have to add minus 2x plus 1. Minus 2x plus minus 2x square plus 1x square is minus x square. The next remainder minus x. The next term minus x. Minus x into x. Minus x square. Minus into minus plus 1 into x is x. The first term will get cancelled. Here minus into plus will become minus. So minus x is minus 2x and the next term plus 2. So minus 2 is the last multiple. So minus 2 into x is minus 2x plus 2. All the terms are common and we are getting the remainder 0. Surely in this division, okay, by finding the factor of the cubic polynomial, if you are dividing the cubic polynomial by its one of the factor, we got one of the factor already. If you are dividing by one of the factor, no, surely you will get the remainder 0 only. Because factor is 0 of the polynomial. Okay, surely you are going to get the remainder 0 only. Okay, check with that. Now, see here the quotient. Here x square minus x minus 2. It is in the form of quadratic polynomial. Yes. So p of x, we know that the relation dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So p of x, the given polynomial is the dividend equal to quotient into divisor plus remainder. Here the remainder is 0. Okay. Based on the relationship only we wrote this. P of x is equal to x minus 1 into x square minus x minus 2. Now see here, x minus 1 is one of the linear factors. So keep as it is. See the next quotient, x square minus x minus 2. This is a quadratic polynomial. Yes, it is a quadratic polynomial. So we have to factorize this. We know that how to factorize a quadratic polynomial by splitting the middle terms. So see here the quotient of x square is 1. 1 into minus 2, it is minus 2. And the middle term is, what is the quotient of x here? It is minus 1. So minus 1. Okay. So we have to choose the two numbers that should satisfy both the condition. So the two numbers are minus 2 into 1 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. It satisfies. So using the two numbers, split the middle term. Minus 2x plus 1x. From the first two numbers, what is common? X. So we are getting x common. So the remaining is x minus 2. The second also we should get x minus 2 only. So what we should take common? Plus 1. Simply plus 1. Okay. So x minus 2 is common. So to x minus 2 common, the remaining is x plus 1. Okay. So we factorize this quadratic polynomial also. For finally, for the cubic polynomial p of x, the three factors are x minus 2, x minus 1 and x plus 1. So whatever the cubic polynomial is given, follow the same procedure. First use the trial method and find one of the factor. Using that one of the factor, divide the polynomial. Surely you will be getting the remainder 0. The question will be a quadratic polynomial only. So here we know how to factorize the quadratic polynomial. Factorize the quadratic polynomial and get the other two factors also. Finally you will be getting the three factors of the given polynomial. So up to exercise 2.4 we revise the problems, solve the problems. So you have to see the previous videos also. Okay, for your first unit test we have revised the first chapter fully. See that video also for your revision and go through all the exercise example and exercise problems. Okay, not only these problems you have to revise all the exercise and example problems. For your first periodic test, the portion first chapter number system fully. Okay, based on real numbers always there. So fully you have to revise the first chapter, all the exercise with the example. And the second chapter polynomials up to exercise 2.4. Okay, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4 fully with all the examples. Here is the question pattern for you. The first submission there will be 9 1 marks. The 1 marks are based on the exercise problems. Also the concept of the chapter. Okay, what is rational number, what is irrational number, and what is polynomial, what is degree. Based on the content of the chapter, 1 marks are there. Okay, and the second is 2 marks. There are 5 2 marks to solve. Okay, and solve. So today you are going to write the test for 15 marks. Okay, write the test neatly. Okay, your presentation should be neat. Do each all the problems. Try to do all the problems, and after